Hi everyone, welcome to Miss Sarah's Math Corner. Today we're going to be talking about how to multiply decimal numbers. So in this case, where both numbers you are multiplying have decimals in them. If you're only working on multiplying decimals by whole numbers, there are other series of videos that you can watch to let you know how to do it. But in this case, the strategy, the step-by-step process is exactly the same with a couple of changes. So here we go. We're going to multiply 42 and 32 hundredths times 15 and 6 tenths. So our strategy is the same as always. Now, it's up to me. I could leave the decimals in there and proceed with my multiplication, but I find that a little complicated sometimes, especially when I'm dealing with two numbers with decimals. So I could rewrite it. I could write 4,232 times 156. And solve it like that. Like you can do this if you have a worksheet or a workbook or something. You can do it separately and then just transfer the answer back afterwards. Or because I have a whiteboard, lucky me, I'm just going to erase it. And I think I'm going to remind myself I had two decimal places here and I have one decimal place there, just to make sure I don't forget when I get to the end. In this case, pretty obvious with my spaces, but one can never be too careful, especially when one is getting old like me. It happens. All right, let's go. Multiplying the numbers in the ones place with the number at the top. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13. And 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 is 25. So I'm going to do this one a little bit quicker. If you're missing some of the steps, again, don't worry. You can always pause the video, rewatch, but other videos explain these steps a little bit more slowly. So by all means, feel free to watch those as well. So I'm going to go ahead and cross out what I'm finished working with, add the 0 down here to show that I'm moving on with the tens. Here we go. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. And then 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Numbers are nicely lined up. Okay, finish working with the numbers up here. Finish working with this. Gonna add 2 zeros at the bottom here to show I'm working with the hundreds spot. In this case, for our purposes, it's the hundred spot because we're pretending that the decimals are not there. 1 times 2, 2. 1 times 3, 3. 1 times 2, 2. 1 times 4, 4. All right. As usual, I'm going to add this all together. 2 plus 0 plus 0, 2, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 5 and 3 is 8, 9, 10. 2 and 2 is 4, 5, 6. And 4 and 2 is 6. Okay, so if I was, again, multiplying these numbers regularly, this would be the answer, right? So again, the process is still the same. However, I need to remind myself that when I go back, all right, there are my reminders that there were 2 decimal places here, and there was 1 decimal place here. So again, here's how this trick works, right? Remember, if you looked at the other videos, the trick is however many decimals are in the question, that's how many decimals are in the answer. And it doesn't mean the number of decimals, right? You can't have 2 decimal points. There's only 1 decimal point, but I'm talking about decimal places. So here, there are 2 decimal places. Here, there are 1. Well, if there's 2 here and 1 here, that makes for a total of 3. That must mean the answer has 3 decimal places. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So our answer to 42 and 32 hundredths times 15 and 6 tenths is 660 and 192 thousandths. And that's how you do multiplication of decimals. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.